Hello friends, welcome to the daily current affairs session by Ekam IAS. Today on 24 January 2019, we are going to deal with the topics Abada Prabandhan Puraskar, then consequences of germline editing, then Microsat R, Goods and Services Tax Appellate Tribunal, that is GST 80, and current affairs capsule. We will be dealing with one topic, and our daily sessions of map aided program and PQRS. So, our first topic is Abada Prabandhan Puraskar. So, it's an award, and the 8th Battalion of National Disaster Response Force, and it has been selected for this Abada Prabandhan Puraskar. Why it is selected? Because it has done a commendable work in disaster management. So, this 8th Battalion of National Disaster Response Force, that is NDRF, has been selected for this Abada Prabandhan Puraskar. So, more details about the award. The government has instituted an annual award, and it has been titled as Subhash Chandra Bose Abada Prabandhan Puraskar. Okay, and this award is to be announced every year on 23rd January. That is, 23rd January, it is the birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So, it is usually announced in 23rd January. Let's see the eligibility for this award. All Indian citizens and organizations, those who have excelled in areas of disaster management, please note, in the areas of disaster management, are eligible for getting this award. And the activities like prevention, mitigation and preparedness of the disaster, then rescue, response, then relief, rehabilitation, etc. All these activities are encoded, and they have been selected for this award. And the award recipient, they will receive a certificate and a cash prize of rupees 51 lakh. Okay, they will receive an amount of 51 lakh for their work in disaster management. Let's see more details regarding this NDRF. NDRF stands for National Disaster Response Force. So, it's a specialized force, and they have been equipped with specialized response to deal with this threatening disaster situation or disaster under the Disaster Management Act 2005. Okay, and the apex body for this disaster management in India is the Disaster Management Authority, that is NDMA. And the chairman of NDMA is Prime Minister. Okay, and our NDRF, that is National Disaster Response Force, it comes under this National Disaster Management Authority. Okay, and it is NDRF is a distinguished, or it is a unique force, and it is functioning under the Ministry of Home Affairs. And all its command and control and leadership are under the Director General of NDRF. Okay, then the responsibility for disaster management in India is that of the state government. But when calamities are occurred, then it is a duty of the central government to provide necessary assistance to these affected states. So, it is then the central government is responsible to provide all the aid, then the needs of the states request, such as providing some CRPF force, that is Central Paramilitary Forces, then NDRF forces, or then air and other assets, etc. Let's see the further details regarding the organization. At present, this National Disaster Response Force, it consists of 12 battalions. Okay, and this 3 each from BSF and CRPF, and 2 each from CISF, ITBP and SSB. So, it consists of 12 battalions, and they are trained to respond to this natural calamities, natural as well as man-made disasters, and they are even trained to deal with chemical, biological, radiological and even nuclear emergencies. Okay, they are trained in such a way to cope with chemical, biological, radiological and even nuclear emergencies. So, that's all regarding this topic. And our next topic is consequences of germline editing. So, it's a topic under science and technology. And why we are discussing this? Because that is by December, a Chinese scientist, that is He Jianqi of Southern Science and Technology Institute of Shenzhen in China, he had come with a claim that he had edited this human embryo, and he claimed that he had edited the embryo of HIV infected babies. Okay. And why now we are discussing this? Because the Chinese authorities, they reported that the scientist, that is He Jianqi, who created the world's first genetically edited babies, he violated both ethics and laws. And he used a technique called CRISPR-Cas9 for this gene editing. Okay, what is actually this gene editing means? It is a genetical engineering in which a gene is inserted, deleted or even edited in a living organism, and now for the first time it is done in human being. Okay. Then about germline editing. So, it's a technology, as I said, through which the DNA of an organism, it is edited so that these changes are heritable. This human germline modification, it means that deliberately that we are changing the genes, and hence it is passed on to children and future generations as well. And thus eventually we are creating genetically modified people. Okay, and actually this gene editing, it is done in reproductive or germ cell, that is oocytes in females and spermatogonia in males. So, naturally it is inheritable. It is entirely different from gene therapy, because in this gene therapy we are doing these changes in somatic cells, that means body cells, so that there is no chance for, that means that it is not heritable. But whereas in gene editing, it is heritable, that is, it is passed on from one generation to another generation. Okay. Then, for this gene editing, various techniques are used for this germline editing. And the technique which is used here is CRISPR-Cas9 technique. So, please note the difference. So, there is a difference between this gene editing, and we have already heard about this gene therapy, but this gene editing, it is heritable, or when we are doing a modification, it is passed on to the next generation. Then, let's see more details regarding this CRISPR-Cas9 technology. So, it's a powerful DNA editing tool, or simply we can say it's a cut and paste tool, and it allows researchers to easily alter the DNA sequence and hence modify the gene. Okay, and this CRISPR, it stands for clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeat, and this Cas9 actually it is a protein. And as the name suggests, it's a short and repeated DNA sequence in the genomes of bacteria and other microorganisms are organized. Then, and this CRISPRs are specialized structures of DNA. And in this CRISPR-Cas9, we use this protein Cas9. It's an enzyme. It acts like a pair of molecular scissors. That means it can cut and paste a new DNA. DNA. Okay. Then here you can see the gene editing done. So in the first diagram here you can see a guide RNA. There is a guided sequence, and the next diagram you can see a CRISPR-Cas9. That is the Cas9 protein. It is acting and it is cutting on a particular site. And then in the third diagram you can see the targeted DNA, and it is edited and it is modified in the fourth diagram. Then let's see what are the potential applications and merits. So actually it's a very good technique, and we can use it for correcting genetic defects, and it can even be used for treating treating and preventing the spread of diseases, and it can even be used in improving the crops, that is genetically engineering crops. Okay. Then the higher specificity compared to other gene editing technique, it has got a very higher specificity, and it is very inexpensive. Its reagents are very inexpensive, and it is very easy to use this one. It's not that much costly compared to other genetical engineering techniques. That's the main advantage of this gene editing. And next is the demerits. The main problem is that actually we are not known, or we don't know how this one acts. Sometimes it causes off-target effects, or it can even lead to undesirable mutation. And we are also concerned about the we have got this bioethical concerns. So bioethical concerns have been raised about the prospect of using this CRISPR for germline editing. Then, what are the possible consequences of germline editing? And the main thing is that it is not as precise. This gene editing, it is not precise. Sometimes it can result in unintended mutation, which in turn can even lead to cancer. Then, and it can even lead to a condition called mosaicism. That is, we target a particular cell, but some cells inheriting the target mutation, while others they don't inherit this target mutation, and hence it leads to a condition called mosaicism. And it is very hard to predict the outcome of the embryo editing exercise, as we don't understand how exactly this individual gets influenced by these phenotypes. We are unknown about the consequence. So this is a main topic actually. So please have a look on this topic. Our next topic is microsat R. So why we are discussing this? Because the ISRO's first mission of 2019 is to put this microsat on space. So this microsat R, it is a 740 kg military imaging satellite. Okay. Then, as I said, this microsat R, it is an observation and imaging satellite, and it is meant mainly for military use. And the satellite and its payload, it comes assembled from different laboratories of the DRDO. DRDO means Defense Research and Development Organization. So ISRO, it only interfaces with this system. Okay, just as it treats any other customer satellite, it only interfaced it with its own systems and the launch vehicle. And this microsat R, it will be put to a polar low Earth orbit 274 km away from the Earth. So it will be much lower than any of its civil Earth observation spacecraft. Okay. Then the ISRO's experiments, and it will be launched with the PSLV C-44 rocket. And this actually it is an experimental launcher, as this is a new third variant having, it has got two strap-on boosters called the PSLV-DL. Here D stands for demonstration. Okay, it's an experimental launcher. And the ISRO is also experimenting to reuse a waste stage, that is the spent fourth stage, that is PSV of the rocket, as an orbiting platform. And the Kalamsat, it's a small student payload, and it will be the first to use this PSV. Okay, PSV, as I have already said, and this Kalamsat, it will be a small student payload, and it will be the first. Okay, please note, it will be the first to use this PSV as an orbital platform. Then, coming to our next topic, that is Goods and Services Tax Appellate Tribunal, that is GST-AT. So, why it came in news? Because the cabinet, it approves the creation of the National Bench of Goods and Services Tax Appellate Tribunal, that is GST-AT. Then, let's see more details regarding this GST-AT. GST-AT, it stands for Goods and Services Tax Appellate Tribunal. It is the forum of second appeal in the GST laws and the first common forum of dispute resolution between the center and states. And hence, the appeals against the orders in the first appeals, that is issued by the appellate authorities under the state and central GST Act, lie before the GST Appellate Tribunal. And this GST-AT, it is common under the central as well as the state GST Acts. So, it's a common forum, and it will ensure that there is a uniformity in redressing these disputes that are arising under the GST, and therefore, it also intended to implement uniformity regarding the GST across the country. Okay, so it is the forum of second appeal in GST laws and first common forum of dispute resolution between the center and states. Then chapter 18 of the CGST Act provides for the appeal and review mechanism, and also section 109 of this chapter under CGST Act, it empowers the state government to constitute this appellate tribunal. Why? For hearing the appeals against the orders passed by the appellate authority or the revisional authority. Okay. So, the chapter 18 of the CGST and section 109. Then, some other details. The National Bench of the Appellate Tribunal shall be situated at New Delhi. Okay. And the GST-AT shall be presided over by the President, and it consists of one technical member in the center and one technical member in the state. So, it has got a President and one technical member in the center and one technical member in the state. Our next topic is, it's a current affair capsule, that is Insect ALICE. Okay. Actually, as the name suggests, it's a program in which researchers have been asked to evolve insects, okay, that introduce genetically modified viruses into crops, that is GM viruses into crops to address infections. Then it was launched by the DARPA, that is DARPA stands for Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and it is responsible for developing military technologies in the US. Okay, coming to our daily session, that is map aided program. Today we will be dealing with the Sentinelly Islands. So, the Sentinelly Island, it is one of the Andaman Islands, and it is an archipelago. Archipelago means a group of islands. So, it consists of different group of islands and is situated in the Bay of Bengal, which include the North Sentinel Island and the South Sentinel Island. Okay. Then, And the Sentinel Islands, it is the home to the Sentinelese. Actually, they are an aboriginal tribe. Okay, aboriginal tribe, and the main important point is that these people, they do not have any contact with the outside people, or they do not initiate any contact with the outside people, and they sometimes often react violently, and they rejected contact with the outside people, and they are among the last uncontacted peoples to remain virtually untouched by the modern civilization. And the Andaman and Nicobar Islands Protection of Aboriginal Tribes Act 1956, it prohibits the travel to the island. Okay, so any people or any approacher, he can approach only up to 5 nautical miles. Okay, this act, it prevents or it prohibits the travel to this Sentinel Islands. So recently it came in news, a US traveler, he visited this island and he was died, and he was attacked with the arrows. Okay, now let's see the location of this Sentinel Islands. Here you can see the North Sentinel Islands. So please have a look on this topic. Sometimes we can ask for our prelims. Okay. Then our next section is PQRS, that is Prelims Question Revision Series. And today we will be dealing a question, that is the question is, recently for the first time in our country, which of the following states has declared a particular butterfly as state butterfly? A, that is Arunachal Pradesh, B, Himachal Pradesh, C, Karnataka, D, Maharashtra. Actually, this is a direct question. This question, it was asked in 2016 prelims. So if you know the answer, then only you can write it. Okay, it was this question, this topic, it was there in the newspaper at that time, and the answer is Maharashtra. So Maharashtra, it is the first state in the country to have a state butterfly. Okay, when the state government declared, and the name of the butterfly is blue marmot as the state butterfly of Maharashtra. So this blue marmot is a large swallow-tail butterfly, and it is found primarily in Sri Lanka and India. And it was mainly restricted to the western Ghats of Maharashtra, then South India and coastal belts. And it may occasionally be spotted in the Maharashtra mainland between Vidarbha and western Maharashtra. Okay, so recently or in Kerala, Buddha Mayuri or Buddha Peacock, it was declared as the official butterfly in Kerala. So sometimes this type of, so I have discussed this question, this Buddha Mayuri or Buddha Peacock, it was recently declared as the official state butterfly in Kerala. Okay, please note that point. Sometimes this question can be asked similar to the question we have discussed. So the answer for this question is D, that is Maharashtra. Thank you for